Are y'all waiting for me? Y'all waiting for me? I ain't on screen. I got you. I got you. Here I am. I had to bring the main ingredients into the kitchen. How y'all doing? Oh, how y'all really doing? Welcome to another episode of Being John Ashford, Orgasmic Conscious Cooking. I love doing this Tuesday nights with my brother Derek. Welcome my brother Derek Brockerback. Y'all can't see him. I don't know if he ever come on screen so y'all can see him. This is the cat. He was a little bit under the weather. I was fucking with him before we came on because I said he was acting like Richard Pryor last week. Eating all that pork, drinking all that cocaine. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, how y'all doing? Busy week for me. Just getting started. Aunt Donna, how y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing, darling? So I'm excited because I got a bunch of stuff I'm gonna do different. Not really different. I'm gonna show you guys how to operate this thing here. This is a lobster tail. Yeah, we don't want to drip everywhere. I should keep this on here. So let me do it like this. This is my lobster tail. We're having lobster bisque tonight for dinner, Tori and I. And I'm gonna show you how to put it together. Real simple, real easy. It's a soup. I'm the soup king. I'm beginning to realize I have more soups under my belt than anything else that I'm cooking. I'm really good at that. But this lobster bisque is going to be something different. No dairy and no gluten. How to get hell better than that. See, what's happening, I'm beginning to realize I have to cook for my body type. And you got to eat. So let's back up. Skeet. There's no such thing as bad food. Well, it is. Let me quit bullshitting. If somebody makes you food and it tastes like ass, that's bad food. Y'all feel me? That's like anything in life. There's certain things that's just not agreeable to your body. So my question for you is, would you be willing to be in question of what's good for your body? I don't eat gluten as much and dairy because it gives me a cow nose. Dairy gives me a cow nose, but I love cheese and ice cream. Don't get it twisted. I've been using alternatives. And so a lot of these recipes you're going to watch on my show, I'm doing the alternative. And I did this in my head, in my office, and I figured out how am I going to get the starch from the wheat to give it a little thickening? What I put in here is I put in a medium potato. I'm going to use the starch. And then the broth, I know you guys probably wondering what this is. These are the skins, or the shells, I should say, of the lobster. I boiled that in and created my own broth, my lobster broth. And I'm gonna show you guys how to take apart a lobster. And so that you know how to use the lobster in any other recipe. You could cook it whole or you could take it apart. We have a little bit over like we probably have like a pound of lobster. Add some shrimp from last night that I'm gonna put in here. So it's gonna be a little bit different. The potatoes is not an original recipe, and the coconut milk isn't. So those are two changes. Let me talk about this. The main event, cream sherry. Y'all see that? This is Christian Brothers. Now, this is not the top of the line. It's going to call for about a 4th cup of sherry in this at the very end with the coconut milk. But it's the middle of the road, and I can sip on it as I cook. Thanks to Tori going back to the store and get this when she was out. Okay. The other thing, it called for tomato paste. I'm not using tomato paste. These two things are out of my garden. Well, yeah, part of that is out of my garden. So I'm using two Roma tomatoes. I'm gonna cook that up with the onions, and that's gonna be my tomato paste. What else? Celery has to be cooked up. But what we're gonna do, we want to keep this lobster. You're gonna cook lobster really slow and low, okay? Because we don't want it to get tough. We're gonna actually like kind of just blanch it in butter, okay? But before we do that, I'm gonna move this off the eye because it's getting kind of warm and I don't want it to be too warm. Okay. So can you guys see this? Let me move other things out of the way so you guys can see this. Okay. I want you guys to see I'm a deconstruct a lobster tail. Here. Y'all see that? But I have my tool of the night before I get busy. I know y'all, he's gonna get to cooking. I'm gonna get this done in about 30 minutes. I do this because I want people to be able to eat healthy and sit around the table and be kind to each other. And I'm gonna show you that you can do this. It might, so figure that it took me about 15, 20 minutes to prep everything. Well, the broth was a little bit longer. So let's say an hour, 15 minutes total for this meal. Okay. But I'm gonna get to this tool. Today, I was talking about somebody on my team and we're coming up with concepts for things that I like teaching online. And we talked about me. how I get caught up in shiny distractions of smallness. And maybe you do the same thing. I'm going to describe this, and that's going to be one of my classes. So anybody watch this, if you're interested in reducing your smallness so you can show up and be present with being you, you might want to hear this. How many times have you waited for somebody to acknowledge your power and your potency? Stop. You are perfect as you are. How many times have you cut yourself up to try to fit in a box so some people could receive you? Stop that too. That's not kind to you. Excuse me. If they can't appreciate who you be, give them the finger. I know Aunt Donna gonna be a John wife. He doesn't like it. You know, I love that word, Don. I've been like that ever since you gave me. It's your fault, Don. You gave me that Roma seltzer when we was a kid, so now I'm a little cray cray. So, what I really want you guys to get is that the importance of letting go of smallness. How powerful are you? My friend, Tori and I have a friend by the name of Stephanie Vetter, and not Stephanie Vetter. Stephanie Vetter is a friend of mine I work with. I can't remember if Steph's gonna beat me up her last name, Steph and Mike. Steph wrote on our mirror one time, if you knew how big you really were, you would be afraid of yourself. And she got it from a quote. Now I'm messing that, I'm butchering it. But I really want you guys to get that. If you knew how powerful you are, you would be afraid of who you really are, what you can create. I'm gonna get back to this later. Let's get back to this lobster. 2 important tools. My father-in-law said this to me, Ken Bergman. I did talk about my brother Derek. Today we're gonna dedicate the show to Derek. He's with us, he's with the living, he's alive. So if you have the correct tools, and this time you need sharp tools, you can do anything. You gotta make sure you don't cut yourself, okay? So you gotta pay attention. So I'm gonna put this all the way down like this in this lobster tail on the inside. I'm gonna push it, push. There. Cut all the way on the back. That was the underbelly. We're gonna come again one more time. Stay there. So I'm gonna take the shell. See, I'm gonna open up the back like this, and I'm just gonna pull the flesh out of the, drop that in there like that. See, I wanted you guys to see. Actually, this is Tori's idea because I had some bacon I was gonna put in there and I forgot to take it out. So we decided we're not gonna go with bacon. So I want to add more lobster so it's enough protein. Okay. So this is the lobster tail we have left. Okay. You're crazy all your own, by your own doing. No, I'm crazy because you're my auntie. Anyway, so my fillet knife, cut this down the middle, bite-sized pieces. Grab my bowl here. Voila. So I buy my lobsters at Costco. Costco is pretty much worldwide now, but I buy my lobsters at Costco because I like their meats and their fish. Everything. You got to be careful with Costco. Some of their stuff is a little bit overpriced if you don't know what you're doing. But I've been in the kitchen because of my mama, Pamela Marie Asher, so I know what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook these lobster tails low. Okay, but we're going to melt some butter. Have to have butter with lobster. Okay. We're going to take the lobster out and then we'll add it at the very end. I'm going to take half a stick of lobster, half stick of butter, drop it in here. Y'all can hear the sizzling. Put it out so you guys can hear that now. Okay. So come back to this butter for the rest of the veggies later. Okay. We're going to do half a stick right now for the lobster, and then we're going to do another half a stick for the veggies. Then the lobster's going to go back. Let me grab a bowl for my lobsters. So, shiny distract. While this is heating up, talk a little bit about those shiny distractions of smallness. You know that shiny distraction when you compare yourself to someone else? I'm not going to talk about anybody but me today. You know, I look at certain people who do facilitation. I say, ooh, what would it be like for me to have that type of class? And that's not kind to you, me, or anybody else. I'm unique. You're fucking unique. You need to get that. It's not going to look like anybody else. A lot of times we get this, I'm calling it the shiny distraction of smallness. You make yourself small so you can fit into somebody else's picture, life, whatever the fuck it is. Stop. And ask questions. I'm not going to just tell you to stop. What am I being? What am I not being when I'm doing this? And this could be anything. You wake up in the middle of the night and you worry. I'm talking about me, y'all. I'm not talking about anybody else tonight. And you worry for what? You know? What are you worrying about? What are you worrying about? It's not going to stop what's going on. But what if you were able to actually wake up and stop worrying and figure out, how can I change this? What if the worrying was just an indication of the possibility of you changing some shit that makes you small? Y'all feel me? Y'all out there? Or did I lose a bunch of y'all? I hope this makes a little sense. In the beginning, it might not make sense. You know, I was telling a friend, there was a guy back in the 70s when I was a kid by the name of Reverend Ike. And I started watching a lot of Reverend Ike stuff now. And I remember when I saw him when I was a kid, he had on these, he reminded me of my brother Dane here. He had on these bright ass suits. Hair was always perfect. And he talked about wealth. And I remember a bunch of people in the community was twisted about that because in the 70s, we were supposed to talk about not wealth and being, I don't know what. It's kind of funny. Those individuals who had some wealth could make more of change with the wealth. And I know people are going to get upset at me saying this. I desire to have more wealth so I can change the world. Y'all know I told you once before, when this money fall happens, and it's happening already, I'm taking people around the planet so they can be different from experience Earth from a different perspective. You know, Earth looks different from this side compared to you've been on this side your entire life. You've been looking at Earth from this side. So what happens when you took a look at Earth from this side? Shit changes. I know y'all probably say, well, I don't want to know too much, but today I'm on it, y'all. Okay. So I'm gonna hold this pot up because I want you guys to see. I'm poaching the lobster tails in this butter. It makes sense, Undonna? Okay, thank you. And because, you know, a lot of times I even say stuff because y'all see my aunt. Everybody in Chicago know that's my aunt. And we only like, Don, how many years older now? I'm 60. And that makes you, what, 69? No, just kidding. My aunt Donna, I think, is 3 years older than me. So I think she is 63. So maybe, or 62, maybe it's 2 years. I think it's 2 years, 62. Anyway, it's more like my cousin than my aunt. Oh, well. But the other thing that you fit yourself in boxes sometimes, and people are not trying to do it, because there's some people who are assholes. Let's be 100. But a lot of people are trying to fit themselves in this family box that they have to be this way because somebody said you got to be this way. And so they lose the authority to be them because they're doing something that somebody else was doing. Kind of interesting concept. And what would be created if you simply stop and be you? You know what I'm saying? What would be created with that? Okay, so I hope this is not boring, y'all. Turned 63, so you are 3 years older than me. I turned 60 August 11th. Okay, so my Donna, early happy birthday. Okay, so I'm gonna pull these lobster tails out because I don't want them to get tough. I want you guys to see this. Can y'all see the lobster? Okay, so we're gonna pull the lobster out. Oh my God, you guys, if you could smell it, it smells divine. So what we're going to do, it has a lot of butter in this, okay? So we're going to sit this to the side because we don't need this right now. We're going to add some more butter. I don't think I need to use all this butter, though. I thought I was going to use it. So I'm going to use like 3/4 a stick. And I'll look that up in a second to tell you guys what that is. Because I don't, yeah, it's a lot of butter still in the bottom of this. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to turn the heat up a little bit and we're going to start cooking up some veggies. Okay. I got onion. I got tomatoes. I got celery. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to drop in this, my wife do this spicy basil. Boom. Y'all see, y'all saw that? Spicy basil. We got some regular Italian basil. We got, I had Thai basil, but this is not really a Thai dish. So this recipe called for parsley, but I didn't have any parsley. So I was like, I got a lot of basil. Let me see what it tastes like with the basil. So part of creating cooking, it's like, here's a piece. What do you be that changes the world? My cooking, like tomorrow I'll take some of the soup to work and I have some my coworkers say today, like, oh, it's bomb. This is my art form. What art form do you have? What art form are you hiding that makes you small? Because you're not sharing it because you were worried about what somebody thinks. So they're thinking. Thinking is the worst thing you could do. Okay. Let's drop these onions in here. I know some people say, what do you want to think? Yeah, you do want to think. That's a half cup of onion. We're going to drop all the veggies in there, damn it. Because we have to blend them with my magic blender over there. So I'm going to drop my celery. And my tomatoes. These are 2 Roma tomatoes. We'll let this cook down. Now, one of the things that you're going to notice is that I am going to take out that spicy basil because it has a tough stem in it. And if you're serving this at a restaurant or company, you don't want your company to choke. The other thing that I want you to notice, I used to notice that the entire time my mom was cooking, she always was cleaning her station where she was cooking, you know. And I was like, why did my mom do that? Now I'm always in the kitchen. Now, my wife used to say, man, you have all these pots. But normally now I'm cooking and I usually try to use more than one pot, multiple. Well, let me back up. If I can, I'll cook everything in one pot. But if not, I'm very mindful of like trying to cook it clean as I go along. It's almost like when you start thinking about that smallness. That smallness also sometimes bring out not a really like capacity, but I think it actually destroys your capacities of your oneness with other things. And I'm saying this because some mornings I wake up and I sometimes realize that I'm at one with a lot of things. I woke up another day. So what can I create? But when you make yourself small, you start thinking about you can't create anything. And it's always like, what am I being when I do that? What are you being? I don't know if this matters to you. I don't know if you guys get some of this, but I'm begging you to see yourself in a different light. There's greatness there. Are you willing to explore that greatness? It's all over the place. It's written all over your face. I wish I could see you guys sometimes, but I guess I could have somebody come in the, what is it, Derek? The, I almost call it graveyard. What are we on? What platform is this we on, people? John's a little tired. Okay. So I'm going to pick this up so you guys can see it. I got to get cameras. It's cooking. The veggies are cooking up. Nice. And also the other thing, having to correct too, having pots, I just saw something, Elon, Derek, did I miss that? Was so small. I need, as I'm getting older, I might have to have a bigger screen or get some new glasses at Costco. But I just missed, I think I missed a message from Derek. But anyway, y'all still with me? What we're gonna do, as soon as these vegetables cook down a little bit more, I'm gonna add the broth, and then we're gonna emulsify the soup and make sure everything is blended smoothly. Then we're gonna add the sherry and the coconut milk. Then we're gonna add our shrimp, lobster, and basil. And then I'll taste it because I didn't want this, the broth is a little bit salty. So I'm always holding on salt to the very end, because what you can't change is once something is salty, it's hard to change. Some soups, you can do that, but this is more of a creamy style soup. So it's hard to, you can add more water and then it dissipates the flavor. You don't want to do that to yourself. So always add salt later. What I am going to do, my son-in-law, my god brother created Ryan, Taste of Ryan from Atlanta. I'm going to put a little bit of jalapeno pepper in there at the very end. I'm going to show you how little I'm going to use, because this is like, we realized that this pepper is so hot that it started burning holes in plastic bags. So we had this pepper in. So we had to change it. Ryan, I don't know what you got. You got dynamite in there or what? Okay. So yeah, this is cooking up perfect. I'm going to take this out of here now. There we go. One more stem. So 6:55. We're going to go a little bit over, y'all. Okay, so we'll turn this up. What we're going to do is drop our broth in here with our potatoes. The potatoes, so what would happen, this is 2.5 cups of broth, lobster, fish, chicken, whatever you have. I added potatoes because I'm not adding flour. So my potatoes are in here now. And you guys can see the potatoes in there. You see that? Can you see those potatoes? Now. That's ready. Let that boil up a little bit. And then we're going to get all this out of the way. So I can blend this. Put this here. This butter is melting. I don't want, it's melting, it's melting. So sometimes people, I hope this is not too, I don't give a damn, I was preachy, but I don't want it to be preachy, but I want you all to be kind to yourself. Life is too damn short. Cutting ourselves off for family members, separating ourselves from politics, shiny, I called it the shiny distraction of smallness. Y'all get that? The shiny distraction of smallness. It's shiny because we don't even know we're doing it until we can fit ourselves into a little ass shoebox. Imagine my big ass in a shoebox, my big ass head, trying to make everybody comfortable and okay. And then comparing yourself. You know, I was listening also to The West Wing. My friend Tim, what's up, Francie? Always clean your station. Yeah, you got to have a good station. You got to clean with a good station because it get messy. You can slip and fall. That is a safety. If it's too oily, catch fire. You know, it's just not safe. And it looks nice. Matter of fact, as I say that, let me get rid of this. Okay. I don't need this anymore. I need that. But there was something on The West Wing that used to be the story about the president. And 6:57, y'all, from my clock. I know Derek's like, wait, I thought we could do this in 30 minutes. It might take a little bit of time because making the soup, and this is the other thing about when you cook. I'm gonna get back to this West Wing in a second. I know the shiny stuff happens in my head. I have a bunch of conversations going in my head at one time. So sometimes it's entities talking to me. I know y'all, he get a little cray-cray a little bit. I know somebody's sitting out there like, what is he thinking? First of all, I want to go back to what I said about Reverend Ike. If you get a chance, check out Reverend Ike. He appeared to be a little cray-cray in the 70s, but in the 2000s, he's making a lot of sense. And a lot of people are tapping into what he was saying. I find it amazing. If you find yourself being ahead of time, ask time to go away so you can be on time or be in space. Think about it. I know that might want to be for some people say, okay, in The West Wing, it was this scenario where it's this lady talking about gay people and gay marriage. And so she was quoting the Bible. And this, I think this was kind of a dope scene that I seen. I hope nobody's offended by it, but I don't give a damn. Don't come back. I'm not going to put myself in a box for people, ever. In this lady was quoting the Bible about homosexual being an abomination, all that. So the dude said, okay. And he went to quotes from the Old Testament of like putting people in slavery because they were doing his sister in slavery because she's doing something, the killing his mom because she wore two different cloths together. And I thought it was kind of ingenious. I thought it was ingenious because I realized that what we do, we actually create the separation from our points of view. And what would it be like if we did oneness out of that? I know there's some people are going to be upset. What are you talking about? And I don't really care. But what I'm saying, what I didn't do is, I got to put my garlic. Now, this recipe didn't call for garlic in the original recipe, but y'all know him. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of granulated garlic. I almost forgot my most magical ingredient. We'll put the pepper and salt in later. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move this over here. Can you guys still see me? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move some of this over so I don't make a mess. I hope this is not too loud. Can you guys hear me? I'm going to show you this. This is where I wish I had a camera from above. Because what you want to do is get rid of, like, my wife doesn't like any, like, lumps in her soup. So this is helping me out big time. Now, you can also put this in the blender, like my Vitamix over there. And I want to pull this all the way over here. So what this is doing is blending all of those vegetables together to give it this bomb-ass flavor. Because once in a while, before I had this tool, I would make a soup, and I wasn't really satisfied because the flavors were different from when you mash up or blend in your veggies. Oh my God, it tastes good. I haven't even added the sherry to it yet. Okay, people, it's 7:01. We almost there. We almost there. We almost there. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Now that's hot. I'm gonna show you guys so this is down on low. I don't need this to boil anymore, okay? And this is what this looks like, okay? But what we're doing now, we're gonna add a little bit of the sherry because we want this to cook up. That's a 4th cup of sherry, okay? Stir this up a little bit. Oh my God, you guys, I can't wait to taste this. I'm kind of excited. Silky smooth, silky smooth. I wish you guys could see this, man. Now I'm about to add the coconut milk. I need a spoon. I need a spoon for that. Trader Joe's. I like Trader Joe's coconut because it's always very consistent. I like Trader Joe's products, but you can use any coconut, and I find it really reasonable there. I use the heavy coconut cream. Gives it more body. More body. My body, your body. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to put this tube back in here because the coconut cream has a tendency of being kind of lumpy, and I want to get rid of all the lumps. I wish, yes, in there too. So yeah, turn this up. Okay, but I don't want it to boil. You don't want your soups to boil. Really don't want it to boil too much at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my handy dandy tool back together. Line it up. Don't make a mess, Johnny. I wish you guys could see this. This looks beautiful. 7:03. Yummy, silky smooth. Yup, Donna, silky smooth. It's like me, like my skin, silky smooth. Y'all see my skin? I'm silky smooth, looking like my papa and my mama. But if y'all ever want to see what my grandmothers look like, go online and see my aunt and my mama. They look just like their mom, which is kind of not ironic. That's their mom. It makes sense. Okay. So let's go ahead and try this out because we're going to add some hot pepper to this next. See if it needs any salt. Shut up, y'all. Close the front door. Okay. But what we are going to do is we're going to get it a bump. See that pepper? Ryan did that. This is my god sister. My god sister's son-in-law. So I'm going to use just like a smidgen because this shit is hot as hell. That's all I need. I know y'all be like, what? Because I want it to have a bite on the back end. You know, I almost pulled the mic out, Derek. You've been mad? I want to have a little bite in the back end. But I don't want it to bite me back. So I'm going to drop the lobster with that butter in there. I'm going to drop this in here. I'm going to drop the scrimps. I'm gonna stir this up. Stir it up like Bob Marley say, little darling. So, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop my basil in here. Man. I'm gonna take a picture of this, y'all. I'm gonna put it on Facebook so people can see it. This looks bomb. It's first time. Now, I'm gonna use the same bowl. Let me scoop some of this up. Get a piece of lobster. Tori gonna be down in the, well, I don't know if she likes lobster like me. Okay, let's see what happens. Now, I hear it's trying to boil. Don't want that. Turn this off. Move it over here. Let me grab me another spoon. What time is it, dear? Let's see, how long did I keep them? How long did I keep them? 7:06. Y'all see that? Y'all see that soup? Let me see what it tastes like lobster in there. Shut the front door. That sherry, that lobster. Oh my, let me bite this now. Now here's the lobster tail. Here, y'all ready for this? I will be making this when I get to Chicago for my mom and dad. So Donna, tell them, man, I'm spitting, I got excited. I got something for them. Some of the celery pieces didn't get mixed up. A little crunchiness in there. Oh my God. Okay, people. 7:06. 36 minutes. Okay? Magic. Magic in your mouth. Magic in your head. Magic with your body. Just pure magic. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I did. I will, Donna, I will have you definitely come over when I do this in Chicago. Until next week, thanks again for Derek. I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you didn't act like Richard Pryor and leave the planet. Appreciate you, brother. Love you much. Thank you, Gino, Tori, everybody else who contribute to me. Thank you. My team, space team. Thanks, y'all. Until next week, be kind to you. Please be kind to you. And be kind to others. The planet needs it. The planet desires it. Until next week, peace.